Hey guys, welcome to LVN Mom. And I didn't say this in the video, so I want to say it now. The ingredients is for 2 pies. We're making 2 pies. You only see us make one in the video though. Okay, first you start off with pizza dough, where you can make your own or you can buy it. We're making our own here. And this isn't for today, so we prefer to make it ahead of time, throw it in the fridge, and then, use it the next day. The recipe that we use, you can just let it rise for a couple hours and use it right away. But this is just how we prefer to do it. I will link the recipe below. It says it makes 2 or 3 pies. We get 2. We don't get 3 out of it. So there it is in a container. It's actually a lock and lock container, so it's airtight. We put it in the fridge overnight and let it grow however it wants to. You guys might get more. We use a little bit older yeast. So there it is the next day. Okay, here we are. My husband is adding some eggs for me. Don't worry, our hands are clean. His are just have inks. They're ink stained from work, but his hands are clean. So we're adding about a dozen eggs. These are the medium because we got a deal on mediums. Oh, now it's me. It's my turn. And I'm counting how many's in there, and I am adding. So we're doing a dozen medium eggs. Even if I had large, I would probably still do a dozen. I don't think I would change that part. And here I am poking the yolk so it's easier to mix because we have to make scrambled eggs. And, yeah. I hate making scrambled eggs. Like, start mixing this part because I seem to have trouble with the yolks. So here I am. Look at me. Pro fingers. Look how fast I'm... So fast. I'm such a pro. Look at that. And I'm kidding. I have it sped up. If I would have gone that fast in real life, I would have made a mess, guys. Okay, so we have to stop a minute because I'm only one person. And I need to get the milk. And so what I'm adding here is whole milk. It is actually lactose free because 2 of us are lactose intolerant, which you can't tell by what we eat, but we are. And so we're mixing. It looks good enough for me. So what we do, so we're also starting the sausage at the same time. So wish me luck there. I preheat the pan with some butter. As you can see, the butter's not completely melted. And the reason for that is because if you have brown butter, you're going to have brown eggs. And not the brown eggs you buy in the store. You're going to have the brown, crusty stuff on your scrambled eggs. So that's why I don't let it completely melt, to ensure having perfect eggs every time. You have to keep it moving. If you don't keep it moving all the time, then you'll end up with a mess. I added some sea salt to it. I probably should have done it a little bit later in the process when they were cooked a little bit more because it makes them almost, I guess, when you add salt too early, it makes it a little tough. But whatever. I don't really notice that much, so we added it then. Just so I didn't forget and have to add it once they're already cooked. So you keep it stirring. A little fact about Michael Symon. In order to work... Oh, and I'm doing the sausage. Guys, I'm doing this all one-handed while holding the camera. So that's some serious talent right there. And this has to be fully cooked in order to make the pizza. Anyway, back to Michael Symon. He said on The Chew, back when The Chew was on, I love that show, the only way, when he does an interview with a chef, he makes them make scrambled eggs. It sounds so simple, but a lot of people make them wrong. And what he means by wrong is with that brown, crusty stuff on it. So if you cannot make a fluffy, delicious looking egg, you cannot work for him. So my husband gives me a hard time about my eggs, but guess what? I'd be the one working for Michael Simon, just saying, if I was a chef. I can make eggs. I think I'm a home cook. I think I can cook just fine, but I don't consider myself a chef at all. So anyway, so here I am. They're starting to cook. As you can see, the little hard bits, and you gotta get the I guess goal is to keep it moving. You have to keep it moving in order for it to be the fluffy deliciousness that we all know and love. So that's what I'm doing, one-handed. Look at my mad skills, guys. Mad skills. This is the extent of my skills, but mad skills. Checking the pork to make sure it doesn't burn. And, yeah. We just want to cook. We don't want nobody getting sick here. Nobody getting sick. Look at them. Look how beautiful they're coming out. So I do get like a little film in the bottom of the pan. You know, he's never explained why that happens. Maybe it's the pan. I don't know. Maybe because I took a minute off. I don't know. But my eggs still come out beautiful, darling. So here we are. They're getting thicker, which is what we want. And by the way, I usually don't cook them all the way when I'm gonna cook them in the oven, but just a few seconds more in the pan, and I do mean seconds more in the pan, and it would have been done perfect. They're really coming along nicely there. See, I keep moving them. The goal is to just keep moving. Keep them moving. Just keep moving them back and forth around the pan. Flip them up, flip them down. Move, move, move. Don't let them sit for too long. I mean, you see, like, I'm not in a rush. I'm just moving them. That's it. Oh, look at them fluffing right up. Oh, they look so good. We've made this pizza a few times already, guys. The kids, they love it. So here we go. I'm going to call that done. And now here comes my skills again. Getting it into the pan. Here we go. And done. There they are. Alright, now we gotta finish up the sausage here, guys. We just cook it just enough, because it will cook a little bit in the oven while we heat the dough. So I'm just gonna shut it off and kind of let it heat on the warm burner in the hot pan, because for the most part it's done. It'll finish cooking as long as because the pan's hot and the burner's still hot even though I shut it off. It'll continue to cook, and I'll stir it, make sure it doesn't stick or anything, and also try and break it up as much as possible, because we don't want big chunks on the pizza. Okay, so here's the dough. We are trying to make it the size of the pizza pan. That is the goal, to make it the size of the pizza pan. So here we're using the little roller thing to, my husband's doing this to get it the perfect size for the stone, the pizza stone. Which, by the way, guys, I'm not positive about the roller, but the pizza stone is Pampered Chef. I don't sell Pampered Chef, but if you find somebody who does, or maybe I can find the link and put it below to the stone. I mean, we've had it for years. This stone's many moons old. Oh, so then we add some olive oil. Once you get it the size of the pan, we add some olive oil. We just brush it on the whole thing. Boop, 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 boop. Look how good that looks. Oh my gosh. Then we poke it with holes. I know I'm getting a little ahead of myself. You'll see in just a second. We're going to poke it with holes and pre-bake it. You pre-bake it like 5-6 minutes at 350. Sometimes we pre-bake it for 10 minutes. Depends on how we feel. We don't exactly follow the recipe like most people do, but okay. So there it is, pre-baked. Just a little bit of brown. We don't want it too brown because it's going to brown up in the oven. And believe it or not, it's so good, you guys. Oh my gosh, this crust is the best crust. If you're going to make a crust, follow this recipe, which I will link below because it's not my recipe. It's a Pinterest recipe, and I love it. So there it is. It's pre-baked, and you see all the little pokey holes in it. And it's a thin crust, which is nice. It's not super thin, but it's on the thinner side. Okay, so now we added mozzarella cheese to the bottom to kind of get everything to stick to it. And then we add our eggs and our sausage. Yum, yum. And then we're going to add some, we did Mexican blend because that's what we had. You could do Colby Jack, you could do cheddar, you could do more mozzarella if you want. And we just sprinkle it on the top nice and evenly. I'm doing this one-handed, so you got to bear with me. If it seems painstaking, I'm sorry. Okay, so then we put it in the oven at 350 for 10 minutes. And look how beautiful she came out. All the cheese melted, the crust got a little darker. So good, you guys.